going to do a little recovery session today. This is great if you are sick, you just have super low energy, you're really, really sore from, what was that, Tuesday's workout. You're on your menstrual cycle, you're just feeling like you need some recovery, okay? So we are going to, my recommendation is if you like drink some tea, take a little walk, and then come do the stretch session. If you are not going to do any of those, then just get to it. But that's what I recommend. A little walk, nice and slow, be mindful, some little tea. Herbal tea warms you up, makes you feel all cozy, and then come do some stretching. You're going to turn on your watch for yoga, or if you have a stretching one, great. But nice, slow intention. I'm going to do yoga, and then turn whatever music you want on. Some ocean sounds or some jungle, whatever you like to listen to while you stretch. Ready? We're going to get to it and do it. Starting on your mat. The first one is going to be cat-cow. So you are going to go wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. This is also called quadruped position. And then you're going to drop your belly, look up, breathe in. And then you're going to round out, push away from the floor, let the head hang, breathe out. And just find whatever feels good here. So I'm doing this in the morning, which means I'm super tight, stiff. My neck's a little stiff from sleeping. Who would have thought? You're supposed to recover when you sleep and wake up like, oh, my neck hurts. So whatever you need, if you're doing this right before you go to bed, maybe you've been sitting at a desk all day. Maybe you've been carrying kids all day and the neck needs some love, or the chest, the back needs some love. Maybe you have a physically demanding job. So just listen to your body, find what it needs, where it's tight. So that's why in this cat-cow, you just kind of play around, twisting things, pushing away, moving, keep breathing. Get some fresh air in there. I used to think like, breathing doesn't do anything. Why do I need to focus on breathing? And then the more I learn, the more I'm like, okay, I'll focus on breathing. The meditation with the deep breathing. Remember breathing all the way out, that every last little drop that turns on the core muscles. Super good for your lower abs, your core structure. And I could probably do cat-cow all day to get that kink out of my shoulder, neck. But we'll move on. The next one you're going to do is down dog, and you're going to pedal out your calves. So think really, really big hands. And you're going to pop your butt up into the air and let your head sink to the turf, the yoga mat, the ground, wherever you're at. And then try to let your heels sink to the mat as well, or to the ground, the floor. And then pedaling them out just means lift up the ankle, lift up your heel, keeping your toes on the ground. So you lift up your heel and then switch sides, lift up the heel. So one heel on the ground, toes on the ground, and then switch, heel on the ground. Like you're running, but in place with the balls of your feet glued to the floor. So I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely feeling my soleus and my calves from Tuesday. They are so tight and sore. So this is excellent stretch for them. So this is where you can lock out your knee. If you go all the way back, lock out that knee. Get a good stretch. And then you're going to come through. Drop your hips. Bring your shoulders up. point your toes. So you're going to flip your feet so the top of the feet are down. And you're going to do Cobra. And this one, same thing. You can twist a little bit. I'm feeling my obliques from those twists. Not from the twists, from the, shoot, what are they called? Like the lateral, can't remember. It's the core one where you dip to one side and then the other. My brain is still turning on, obviously. And then you're going to roll yourself down and then push yourself right back up into it. Kind of relax, especially where your muscles are super tight and you're stiff. Try to tell your brain to kind of relax, get a good stretch. If this is too much, then just come to Sphinx pose from the elbows. And then open up the shoulders, broaden the collarbones. And roll down. And then one more time. And roll up. Opening up, giving that back a good stretch. Okay, then we're going to go back to downward dog. So you're going to come up to your knees. And you're going to flip your feet so you're on the balls of your toes. You're going to pop your hips, butt back in the air. And then you can pedal out your calves again because my calves are so tight. If you don't have to, though, you can just sink your head to the mat. Dip in there, get a good stretch. And then we're going to do pigeon pose. So you're going to lift up one leg as high as you can. Lift up a leg. Try to hold it for a second. And then think knee to your chest, to your chin, and bring it all the way forward. My foot, this front foot, is going to come across my body. And then I'm going to sink down into my pigeon pose. So I'm staying nice and tall. So that looks like this from the front. My foot comes across. I stay nice and tall. And then breathe. So what you want to do is line up that back glute, knee, and ankle. Makes a nice line. Stay nice and tall. You need to put like a pillow or if you have a yoga block. I'm not that intense. I don't have a yoga block. Blankets, just something to shove in there. If this is like too much of a stretch, too deep, you could also try laying back and grabbing your knee and your ankle and pulling that way. Very similar stretch. It's just not as intense. So if you're not flexible, that's a great one to try. Okay, and then we're going to do pigeon pose on the other side. So to come out of it, you go big hands, flip your toe. Instead of pointing, you're going to flex. And then you're going to push up. You can go single leg and then back down or just back down, however you want to do it. And then you're going to pedal out. You're going to do that same thing on the other side. So lift the opposite leg up. Then you're going to drive your knee to your chest, to your nose. Suck everything up and in. Let that front foot come across and sink down into it. Flip the back toe so it's flat. Then take some deep breaths here in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, then from here, we're going to bring that front foot back to our push-up position, and then we're going to slowly lower, kind of like chaturanga, slowly lower all the way to the floor into our backward star stretch. So we're going to go wide hands, and then you're going to think right foot reaching across to left hand, stretching through that low back. Then switch left foot reaching across to your right hand. Get a good stretch in the low back. Switching, feeling good. Okay, my back actually feels really good, but if you just need some more, do a couple more of those. And then from here, we're going to go into frog pose. So I'm going to come up onto my forearms. I'm going to pull my hips butt back, and then I'm going to open up kind of like I'm doing the straddles. So I am like half straddles. So my knees are bent, but I am sinking down into my hips on my forearms. So from the front, if you start in quadruped position, and then you keep your knees bent, slide your knees out, feet are back behind you. You look like a frog. You're going to hold this one for the hips, and you can kind of move forward or backwards if you're not sunk too far in. If you're too far and it's really painful, but moving forward and backwards is going to hurt. So you can come out of it just a little bit and then move forward and backwards through that stretch. Open up through the hips. You're going to be feeling this one. Unless you're like a dancer, you can actually do this and it doesn't affect you. But everybody else in the world, I don't know who else has that much flexibility this way in their hips. Like, ooh. Okay, then you're going to come to child's pose. So go bring your knees back together. I have to help them with your hands. Put your feet together and your knees are wide. And then you're going to walk your hands out. Reach as far out as you can. Really stretch through the lats, the shoulders. Feel this in your chest a little bit. If you don't feel a stretch here, you can tent your fingers, which means come up onto the tips of your fingers. And they'll get a deeper stretch through your chest. And then keep breathing through your nose. And then walk your hands over to your left. Get a long stretch through that side. Through the shoulders, through your lats. Little oblique. And then you're going to do that same thing on the other side. Walk your hands all the way over to the other side. Long stretch through your side body. Deep breath. Okay, then you're going to come to the side. You're going to lay on your side with your knees bent in front of you. So you're going to bend your knees about 90 degrees in front. You can rest your bottom hand bent, like lay on your bottom hand, or you can go out in front with your bottom hand, and like drop your head or hold your head, whatever you want to do, whatever's comfortable. But this lands, I think, like hands together. You're going to reach this top hand forward, get the scapula to protract, move forward, and then you're going to open up, get a good twist, reach all the way across, and I'm hitting the wall, so I got to move forward. Do that same thing. Reach all the way and close, and reach your fingers forward, fingertips forward. This is what I need. That knot in my neck is stretched by this one. Reach forward, open up, and then reach forward. Biceps are a little sore too. And open up. Okay, then we're also going to do the same thing, but we're going to come up and around like a rainbow by your bicep, by your ear, around the top, and then close. Reach. You can reach forward still. Come up and around like a big clock. Okay, one more there. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So flip over onto the other side. Top hand reaches out in front. Come up and around. Get a good stretch and then switch. Stretching through the chest. Reach forward. And come up, bicep by your ear like a rainbow. Clock. I guess the other one should be rainbow because it comes like 3D. Or this one's flat. So this one should be the clock. Okay, then you're going to flip onto your back. We're going to do what's called L-overs. So you're going to go arms wide and you're going to drive one leg up to trying to hit 90. If your hamstring's super tight, you can bend your knee or you can just bring it lower. And then whatever, as high as you can get, drop it across the body, reaching for that hand. My back hand's over here. So I'm going to get a long stretch through my hamstring, up my back. And then bring it back to the center and lower it down. That's a little bit of core work right there to lower control. And then do that same thing on the other side. Lift your opposite leg up, reach towards your other hand, cross over, get a good stretch through the hamstring, glute, your back to the center, and drop it down. And then you're just alternating between those two. Up, over, get a good stretch, up. If you just want to hold it, that's fine too. But we're just trying to get some movement, just a little bit. Stretching out the body, hamstrings, feeling grateful. When you're sore, oh, that workout was brutal. Sore, low energy, this is what you do. Okay, then you're going to do reach across that knot in my back. It feels so good if I reach. Okay, we're going to do this is the granny stretch, grandpa stretch. You're going to put your feet together like this. You don't want them super fat. So feet flat on the ground, with a little space, kind of like a glute bridge position, but your feet are completely together. Arms can be wide, or you can go arms to the side. But then you're going to tip, keeping the feet together, the knees together, tip as far over as you can to one side, and then you're going to reach, do that same thing to the other side. So we're just getting a good stretch through that low back. Going side to side, through the obliques. This one was, it's funny, it was on a video for like stroke heart association or something. But it's just, that's why it's the granny stretch or the grandpa stretch. But it's also done it with athletes. It's great, obviously great for your grandma, but that's what I think about. It's like, oh, it's granny stretch. Okay, then you're going to do, come to a seated position. We're going to go 90, feet wide, and you're going to drop knees from one side to the other side. So this, instead of stretching through the glutes, kind of stretches around the hip socket, just a little bit differently from the prog pose we did. So get some good stretches there. And then we're going to hit the neck. So come to a seated position, whatever's comfortable. We're going to go ear to shoulder. Kind of just let it hang. Ear to shoulder on the other side. Ooh, this is where I'm tight. And then you're going to eyes looking at the armpit. Take this opposite hand, go behind your back. So I'm looking at my left side. My left hand is going to gently tug my head, nice and slow. While my right hand is behind my back, it just opens up through the neck, gets a deeper stretch. And I do that same thing on the other side. So my left hand goes behind my back. And my eyes are looking at my right armpit, and I gently pull my head with my right hand to my armpit. Okay, then we're going to do, it's the sternocleidomastoid stretch. So this is the muscle like right here in the front, connects to your clavicle, that bone, your collarbone, that's the nickname, but clavicle here. And you're going to just tip diagonally back and away and get a good long stretch through the front side of your neck. And you're going to do that same thing on the other side. Sternocleidomastoid stretch. That's this muscle that we're stretching. So what you feel right here, that's your sternocleidomastoid muscle, helps turn your head. Here's a fun anatomy for you. Okay, then we're going to just do circles with the shoulders. Forward, up. So bring your shoulders to your ears, pull the shoulders back, rotate forward, and then we're going to switch directions. Come forward. So shrug up as high as you can get. Bring them forward. And then we're going to do shoulder swimmers. So we're going to go opposites, like we're swimming. Forward. And then we're going to go reverse, like we're doing a backstroke with just the shoulders. Okay, 2 more for you, but we have to stand up. So I'm going to back you up. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. Back you up. Okay, last 2. We've got founder's position. So this is one where you're standing, feet hip width apart, and you're going to hinge, push your hips butt back. So from the side, it looks like that. Then you're going to go hands right by your legs, and you're going to reach back behind. And then you're going to come swing forward with your hands and reach up. You're going to have probably more flexibility coming back. Our shoulders allow us to rotate more through the back than we can coming to the front. So that's normal. Swing, reach back, hold it for a second. Coming forward, reach forward. Okay, that's our founder's position. The last one is our bow and arrow. So if we take our feet and we point them, falling over to the side, my hands also reach to the side. And then I'm going to pull, squeeze my hands, follow my, my eyes follow my hands. My hands, ready, elbow back, and then reach forward, reach out in front, squeeze, open up through the chest, twisting through that spine. Get a good twist, pull back, twist. Then we'll do that same thing on the other side. Toes flip the other direction, hands go the other direction. Then I pull back, I follow my hands, reach that elbow back, reach forward, pull back, get a good twist through the spine, get some rotation. Whether you're starting your day and we're stiff waking up, we get a little bit of movement before we get going, whether you're ending your day, I've been going all day, we just want a little bit more stretch through that spine. Okay, y'all. Hopefully this is feeling good. Body's feeling a little bit looser. The energy will come with time. Get some extra sleep. And then we will see y'all tomorrow. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. Ciao.